Well, Saturday is not usually a day where there's much commentary, but I'm going to comment on this because I think that it's something that's unusual and I think that it's uncalled for and I think it's worthy of commentary. So I'm going to go ahead and make it. So we're looking at Doge here. I'm going to go through a few things here in the free room. I know we've had some new people joining me because I've been very active on X lately. I've been posting an awful lot of my non sequitur stuff. I just posted my ice cream maker to do video from earlier today. I'm still mopping up from that, but anyway, I'm in here looking at the charts and stuff. And so let's start with Bitcoin and just take a look at a few things. So welcome all you guys that are new. I know there's about 10 of you that came in today. All right, so Bitcoin. Well, we're underneath this resistance, guys, and 4 days in a row here. Let's go over here and kind of review how this usually plays out. We bounced off it, tested it for a good long week, and then some on into 2 weeks, and we just ain't having it. So we're on basically our third real test here. So this has kind of led me to believe, well, we're at an all-time high here, 76,893, or give or take around that thing. Yeah, I know, the maxis are pushing for 100,000, and everybody won't be happy until we see it. Am I doubting that it'll happen? Yeah, it'll probably happen, but the higher it goes, the harder it's going to fall. They're not going to leave the doors open for you and trash this economy. They're not going to leave an exit for you. It's all going to go down. I've said this and said this and said this, and I'm saying this for the benefit of everybody that's new here that's never heard my dissertations and my rantings. It's my position that silver's going to go down, and it is going down. Bitcoin's going to go down. Stocks market's going to go down. Bonds market's going to go down. Real estate's going to go down, and money is going to go down. Everything is going to go down in just one pretty much large 1 week, week and a half scoop. And basically, there's going to be all exits are going to be blocked. To go back and kind of sum this up a little bit. How does this happen? How can I be so sure of it? Well, let's historically look at the way that the big boys play the game. As I've kind of said in the last couple of weeks, either publicly or privately in VIP and a few of my treehouse sessions, generally what happens is by the time the talking heads on CNBC or MSNBC or any of these people are so-called experts, and Jim Cramer, get on and start talking, there's, oh, I think Bitcoin's going to go up or whatever. Well, the elites have already kind of put them up to it. I mean, these guys are the PR wing of the portfolios of the elites. Let's play this as exactly how it should be played and look at it the way it should be looked at. That's exactly what we're dealing with here. We're not dealing with any truth in the market whatsoever. By the time you get Fink from BlackRock out telling you he thinks Bitcoin's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Do any of you seriously believe that he gives a crap about your portfolio and making sure you have a seat at the table? It is the antithesis of anything that makes sense to them as an investment firm. The idea is not to tell everybody about a good deal when you haven't already got the good deal. He's telling you because he's already in. They're loaded. The boat is loaded. Now he wants you in. Why is that? Because you are his exit liquidity. It doesn't get any more simple than that. It's the same for stocks. It's the same for bonds. It's the same for Bitcoin. It's the same for all of it. And what you're seeing right now is you're seeing euphemism from people that believe and are being basically in a bubble that's being basically pumped up to go, oh, see, this is the run. This is the run. And the self-fulfilling prophecy is happening. So will we get to 100,000? We might. But right now we're sitting at indecision. There's a lot of people right now, they're looking at this going, this may not be the real thing here, or we're a little bit worried and we're not really liking, but you're going to start seeing all kinds of market support and all kinds of stuff. But as we get closer and closer and closer, I'll leave Trump's personal problems out of this discussion right now. As we get closer and closer to the real drop, you're going to see a hardcore push. You're going to see new all-time highs above this, and you're going to see all of a sudden it's good and it's good and it's good until it ain't. And like right now, anyone who knows how to read a chart, this is not magic chicken bones here that called this line up. I mean, it's very, very easy to see. You can be a rookie chartist and see this. But what you're not going to see is you're not going to see the four targets on the way down because these dots all the way down here are something that only my system will produce. And so, as you guys who've been with me for a while know, we're going to see every single stinking one of these on the way to the bottom. And so, all this and much, much more. So, will we go higher? It's highly likely, and I've got the highly likely already marked. So, it's very likely we could see 86 to 87, 88,000, right in that general range. And I say that because we've got target markers, and that's a dual AI line up there. And you guys have been with me for a while. You already know how magnetic those can be. And it's really not that much of a stretch to expect possibly another 13 to 13.5%. Now, there's a lot of misgivings as far as like, if we go up there, are we going to hold that? No, we're going to come back down. So if we do get a run going up here, we might get a run to about this AI here at 82. But if we do get a run, just as fast as she goes up, she's going to snap back below this line. You watch this line come into play again. If we get across this and we go up here and run up here, you watch us flirt with that and chopstick and right back down we go. So anything above this, I look at very, very suspect. So let's continue to build the prosecution here a little bit. So I will move you to Ethereum. And let's look at Ethereum. I showed you Ethereum. I showed VIP Ethereum, and we had a run. We came up. We tagged this line here, which has been marked for months and months and months. We sat there for a good long time, and I told one of our high-end VIPs, our Platinum Pros, I told them we're going to get another 3.5% here by the end of the day. And sure enough, we came up, we stopped right there. Then I told him, I said, I would not be surprised to see this dip across the line, tag this dual AI line, and probably sit there with a little bit of indecision, and then maybe come back down. And you can see Anubis has already given us odds that we tagged and pinged today. So if we go a little bit higher with Ethereum, so let me back up here a little bit because I'm really rolling. I'm in the zone today. And so Bitcoin is kind of pretty much setting the trend now. And I've explained this to VIP, and I don't know if you guys in public have heard this or not, but basically Bitcoin is setting the trend. What we see in Bitcoin, we will see downline in the lesser coins and the shit coins, et cetera, et cetera. So what we're going to see here in this video is you're going to see evidence of a trailing move. And we're going to talk about this as it pertains to things like Doge and Sui and stuff like that. Now, Ethereum being the number 2 position, you can see it's still moving. It's still moving because it hasn't followed the complete updraft of Bitcoin. But as this slows, then we start to turn our attention downline a little bit. We start to look at the lesser coins. We might look at a Litecoin. We might look at something like Crow, which has been a call that I made here just recently. I said, watch it, it's going to happen. And out of nowhere, it popped. I said, watch Casper. Casper is due for something. Out of nowhere, it popped 54%. I mean, it hadn't done jack squat forever and ever and ever. And I just got a little tickle, and I said, I think Casper's going to do something. And I said it last week. And 54% out of the blue. So they're putting on a market show. Make no mistake about it. And so, will we see any further? Well, we're at the dual AI line here now. So I would believe that there might be a little bit of a pause for the cause here. Now we can see that we've already hit this target call here, and we can see Anubis is already throwing us 100% likelihood statistical downturn. I would agree with that. And I agree that when we open up, or I would think that when we open up in about 11 minutes here on the next candle, on the next Saturday candle, we might see Sunday take it all back and more. We might see this next candle drop us. Thus far, I'm seeing reason for that because looking at the RSI, she's starting to look a little shaky. We're starting to plateau. Could do it, maybe not. So looking at the MACD, still looks pretty strong. Dragon still looks pretty strong, stuff like that. So we might go a couple of days. It's likely that we might ping pong along here a little bit, and then we get back to business and start dropping here. So this week in general is going to be kind of a choppy week where I don't think there's any major moves should be made this week by any of you because it's just too much of a risk. We've got to watch Bitcoin. We got to. I know that. Excuse me, just a second here. I'm going to cut my mic. we got to watch Bitcoin, and we got to play out our trailing coins that some of you guys are in, like Doge or whatever. If you're in profits, don't be greedy, because I'm telling you right now, if Bitcoin turns down, you're going to see it's going to be a faster matching turn down than it is a rise up. Meaning, if Bitcoin starts plummeting, it might have taken a couple of days for Doge and Ethereum to follow in the updraft, but I promise you it'll be a matter of hours, probably even less than that. That when Bitcoin starts to dive, it's all going bye-bye. All right. So anyway, to kind of get back to this, I'm waiting with a little bit of apprehension to see, are we going to get past this dual AI line or not? I don't really feel it at this point in time. It looks like we've got some pretty solid action here as far as that goes. Now, if it does bounce, this is going to be about it, kids. I'm looking at another 7%. I'll give you another 7% odds, very low odds. But if she goes, I don't see it holding, and I see it pulling back. Now, to go sideways on this story, here's why I say this. So let's talk about Doge, and I'll finish that little dissertation here in a little bit. So here's Doge with all these markers that I've had for a long, long time, and ping, ping, ping. We're hitting them all. We hit that's the fourth marker. Yeah, one, two, three, the dot and the dot. So we're sitting right here. Will we go further? Yes, I have been telling VIP we will go further. I have no reason to doubt that we're going to test the top of that right there. So, is it worth getting in right now? No, not for any of you guys. But, it's 12, maybe 13%. But, I wouldn't, with McDonald's money and pocket money, I wouldn't go throwing that kind of cash around at 13% return. But there's a dual AI line right here. So will we hit that? So it's 5-6% more. Yeah, very, 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 very likely we will hit that dual AI. So, and that's at 23 cents. Now, 25 cents is not that far up, and that's the next marker up. So that's a psychological barrier. So what's likely to happen? And this is all lined up very, very nicely. What's likely to happen is we'll hit that dual AI line, shake around, possibly Sunday. It can go ahead and check off 25. And just to get the herd all real excited, they'll run it past 25, then they'll suck it back down again. And then you get into the slope of the following week to follow, where they start taking away all the hope and the joy. So let's look at XRP. XRP is already ahead of the curve. This is XRP on the left and silver on the right for those of you that are new with me. So XRP, for those of you that don't know who I am the top 0.0001% holders of XRP on the planet. I know this coin better than anyone you will ever listen to. I am deeply entrenched in this. I get personal letters from people in the company, and I'm a player. I am a player, so I know this coin very, very well. My system was designed around XRP, so when I tell you something about XRP, you better listen, because nobody knows it better than I do. Okay, so what I was telling you, I was telling everybody, is this ran up, and I said, we're going to be expecting a pause, and a pause, and we're going to already seeing that XRP was ahead of everything. It ran up about 7 or 8%, well ahead of Bitcoin. So it did its run kind of during the election, which I found to be very suspect. And I said, I don't, I don't see this having any just cause, because it shouldn't. It's been tracking one for one with silver. I've been waiting for a spread between silver going up and XRP going down. And right now it's doing exactly the opposite. And so we'll talk about silver here in just a minute. But is what's going on with XRP? Well, there's a few things that are coming this month with XRP. One of the things that I was talking about with VIP is Netflix is going to be doing an XRP documentary. Now, what does that mean? There's a lot of new money flowing into cryptocurrency, because obviously they're out there pumping and pimping it, all over CNBC and NBC and whatnot. And all these people are like, oh my God, this is the time. And of course, it's being reinforced by YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. So it's the bull run. It's not the bull run. Far from it. However, it certainly looks and tastes like it to those that are not exposed to the fraud. And so XRP is running right now, and I suspect there's probably a couple reasons why it is. One, there's a few people who are in the know that the XRP documentary is probably coming out in the next couple of weeks here, probably the next 10 days, I'm imagining. But they're getting damn close, and you heard it here first. They're getting damn close to rolling out RLUSD, meaning the new stablecoin. I would love to really rant, but you guys are in the free room here, so I'm only going to give you so much. I'm giving you quite a bit here, but I will tell you that when RL USD rolls out, I'll simply leave you with this little free gift. When RLS USD, which is XRP stablecoin, rolls out, you better get the hell out of USDT and anything tied to it. You better get the hell out of it because that's what's going to start the drop for the entire market. Because let's go back to Bitcoin here. I'm kind of tying the whole case together. What gives Bitcoin its price? It's $76,000 price. It's $76,680 price. Well, I'll tell you, it's Tether. Mostly it's Tether. Well, what gives Tether its price? Well, it's powered by bullshit, basically. Bullshit, lies, and cover-ups. So, riddle me this, Batman. Is this going to hold ground? If RLUSD comes out and it takes away, which is already a proven, vetted thing that can be documented as being well, it's accounted for. In other words, the money that's there, we know it's there. It's a very publicly traded company, one of the biggest on the planet. Tether is not, and so the money will naturally migrate away from the untrustworthy to the trustworthy. Any fool can see that. Now, that's stage one. Stage two is the thing that I've been talking about for a while. Coinbase has given the mandate to the European the European version of its entity to say we ain't doing business with Tether anymore. That happens at the end of this year. Now, when that stops happening, the Tether options start drying up, and it will be copied by other trade houses, and it'll work its way around the planet. Where slowly, as I've kind of joked, Tether will be like a man without a country, literally, pretty soon. Now, the trade pairs, I'm talking about the shit coins and the very lesser coins. There's so many coins that have no other trade pairs than USDT. Um, you can verify this simply by getting on TradeView and searching up some no-name coins and look and see what's tradable with it. It's Tether. Now, what do you suppose the value of that stuff is going to be when there's nothing to trade it into? There's going to be a lot of lost liquidity. It's just going to go away. Or what you're going to see is you're going to see a giant mass exodus and sell off. Now, I deal with people who panic all the time. I know how a panic thinker works. The narrative is that all that money is going to go flooding and flocking into the quality stuff immediately. No, 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 no. That's not what's going to happen. Because remember, we're dealing in a world that is very uncertain right now. And so uncertainty breeds lack of action. I want you to kind of just carve that in the back of your hand. Uncertainty breeds lack of action. There is A does not equal, A plus B does not equal C. In other words, if liquidity dries up somewhere, people don't just migrate. There's a second option. Go into cash, wait and see. Let it ride out the storm, as it were. What do you think Warren Buffett's doing right now? He ain't getting none of this. He's pulled his money out. You should copy Warren Buffett because when things are starting to go to shit, he's going to be sitting on the sideline ready to buy it all, and that's what you should be doing too. So when Tether folds, the intelligent people, the people that are scared, are going to go into cash. They're going to go into stable coins. Riddle me this. What stable coin are they going to go into? Tether no longer exists. They're going to go into USD. They're going to go into RLUSD. So that's going to be a big, big feather in the cap of XRP. However, there's going to be in the interim a crash that's going to happen. Now, why do you think they call it the Phoenix? Because out of those ashes rises XRP. But there must be a crash first. And so I will leave you with that. All right, so let's get over and look at silver here one more time. And I'll finish with this here real quick. So silver is showing, and I'll give you a little tip here. This should not be happening. Silver, basically, everybody kind of flooded into the metals market thinking, oh, shit, man, better get into some real money here. But now Trump, all of a sudden, you can very clearly see since the election that people are not panicked anymore and they're not buying silver. But you can see that it's priced into the market already. It's already into the statistics that there are people that know the shit's going to hit the fan and they're waiting. So right now we're on a bit of a downturn. We're at the bottom of the Keltner here, sitting at about roughly we should get down to 29 bucks here pretty soon. We're still above the 200 EMA, but will we get down here into the $26 dip? We will probably likely do that, but it doesn't have to be on this move here. But here's what I want to show you. When things do turn, they're going to turn fiercely because Anubis is throwing calls all the way up here to 61 bucks. So eventually we're going everything. Now, I'll try to tie this back to the crypto market. Um, People who are in crypto are not necessarily always just in crypto. They might be in metals as well. So I could see a scenario where silver will be up. When I say crash, I'm not talking about everything crashes on a Thursday at 4 o'clock. It's gonna be more like dominoes than it is a building falling down. It won't be all at once. It'll be all in like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It'll just be everywhere you look. You just won't. Nothing will look like solid ground. But there'll be a time when silver's a little higher. Now, you have to also remember a lot of silver's value is predicated on false trading. Its value comes from derivatives. What are derivatives? They're fake money, is what they are. So, really, we're dealing in a market across the board that is nothing but a house of cards waiting to fall. And it's going to be many cards that fall at one after another after another. So what I want to tell you here is there's going to be a time when crypto is going to fall. There's going to be a time when silver is going to pump. And there's going to be a time when silver is going to drop again. Now, can I see a lower low for silver? Yes, because as I just said, eventually they're going to have a come to Jesus moment with these derivatives, and we're going to find true price discovery well above 600 bucks. But it's got to go down first. So this will be silver's fake pump right here in this general area, but it won't be at the same time that this happens. So you'll see Bitcoin up, silver and gold down. Opposite happens later on, and then eventually everything goes. Stocks go, bonds go, housing goes, everything goes, and out of it rises RLUSD in the new financial system.